Everyone, and welcome to the webinar on how to boost your sales on Amazon with sponsored products and gold box deals. My name is Pui and I will be your host for today's webinar. I am an onboarding manager here at Amazon. My day-to-day activities relate to speaking with sellers, training them, and basically setting them up for success on Amazon. I also have with me today my colleague Pavez, who will be taking the second half of the webinar on gold box deals. So in today's webinar, we will be covering two marketing and merchandising tools, sponsored products and gold box deals. Both will help to increase your exposure and grow your business. We will be giving you an overview on both programs, and I will go more in depth with some optimization strategies you could apply to your sponsored product campaigns. Before we begin, a few webinar details. Throughout the webinar, please feel free to interact with us via the questions box, and we will address the questions at the end of the webinar. This is going to be a learning session, so we want to keep it interactive, and we would love it if you could ask us a lot of questions. Today's webinar will also be recorded, and you can use your webinar link to watch this session as many times as you would like. At the end of the webinar, we will share some useful links and information for your reference. Finally, at the end of the webinar, you will see an email address for the Amazon Global Selling Team. Please email me and us if you still have any questions, and we will be happy to assist. All right, so moving on to sponsored products. So just to share a little bit about myself, when I'm not busy hosting webinars or working at Amazon, I am probably shopping. I buy almost everything online and I love shopping on Amazon. One of the best things about Amazon is that there is an ocean of great things to buy. On the flip side, as a seller, I imagine that's also probably one of the toughest things of selling on Amazon. Amongst an ocean of great things, how do you reach the millions of customers and help them to find, discover, and buy your products on Amazon? Enter sponsored products. If you are selling on Amazon and you want to increase the exposure of your products, sponsored products is one of the most powerful Amazon advertising tools a seller can use to put a spotlight on their stores. So what exactly are sponsored products? Sponsored product is a pay-per-click advertising solution that enables you to promote your products you sell on Amazon with keyword-targeted ads. You can select your products and choose your keywords, or use Amazon's suggested keywords, then decide how much you want to spend on your campaigns, and your ads will appear on product detail pages and among search results. Shoppers who click your ads are taken where your offer is listed, and you pay only when your ads are clicked. This means that we will display your ads for free. As a pay-per-click advertising solution, you will also be able to see the impressions and number of times your ad was displayed. Track your clicks, your click-through rate, and spend, and analyze your advertising cost of sale, or ACoS, by looking at sales and conversion data. Sponsored products are also viewable in a smartphone or tablet browser, making your product stand out in any device your customer is using. And this is an add-on service, so you can use your existing seller account for this. And you've probably already seen a sponsored product ad yourself as you were browsing the site, either as a buyer or as a seller. Sponsored products could show up at the bottom of the first page, or on the right panel of the first page of search results, or here, when a customer clicks into the product detail page of a related product, they will see it in the middle of the page as well. And recently, Amazon created a new sponsored ad placement. If you enable something called Bid Plus, your ad will qualify to show up on the very top of search results. I'll talk more about Bid Plus later. One more thing for you to note is that sponsored product placement also vary by category and search terms. So as an example, for some categories, sponsored products will not show up on the right panel. This is just an FYI. So how can sponsored products help your business? Let me start by sharing some interesting statistics with you. Here is a survey done by Bloomreach in 2015. Did you know that 44% of consumers actually go directly to Amazon to start product searches? as compared to 34% on all the search engines combined. So Amazon is basically a search engine for people looking for things to buy. But did you also know that according to Adweek, only 30% of Amazon shoppers click past the first page of search results? This means that you could be losing up to 70% of potential shopper traffic if your products are not being shown on the first page of search results. If you are a new seller with very little sales history, it is unlikely that your products will show up on the first page, which is why sponsored products are so beneficial. It gets your products on the first page of search results. So as seen here, the top benefit of sponsored products is definitely getting your products discovered and increase visibility. It gives you an opportunity to have your products show on the first page. So if you're thinking of a physical store, sponsored products is like having your products being displayed in the front windows of the store as opposed to being in the back shelves. In addition, sponsored ads are relevant and targeted. Your ads are shown to buyers who already have an intention to purchase because the ads are matched with who are entering specific keywords to buy or research on Amazon. So you know that these Amazon customers are there to buy and not just to browse. With effective use of Report, you can also easily measure your ROI and optimize your ad spend. So with that, our sellers GMS worldwide has grown more than 100% through sponsored products, and sellers have garnered more than $1.5 billion in sales. Next, we quickly review the requirements for using sponsored ads. You need to have an active professional selling plan. Products must be new, and you must be eligible to win the buy box with your product. The reason being, if you're not winning the buy box, even if you spend money on sponsored products, you will just be driving traffic to a product page where the incremental visibility will likely benefit the seller owning the buy box rather than yourself. Which is why your ads will only show when you're winning the buy box, and you'll only be spending money where there are direct benefits to you. You also need to be listing in categories open to sponsored products. So as of today, you may advertise in the categories listed on this page. One of our newest categories would be camera and handmade. Handmade was recently launched. So this list may change from time to time, and it's best that you access this list in the help pages within Seller Central. There are still some categories that are not currently available. So for example, if you're selling jewelry, to run sponsored products, you need approval. If you're selling books, media, adult products, you're not eligible to run sponsored products. So you can use sponsored products in a number of situations, but we would recommend it especially as a way to promote new brands, product line extensions, or unique selection. As a new brand, it can be difficult to get noticed if you don't put in the effort. Sometimes a great product does not sell because not enough buyers see it. Sellers have often used sponsored products to drive traffic to their products and increase sales. If you are selling in categories with fierce competition, it is also recommended that you use sponsored products. For example, an iPhone 6, if you search for it, you probably get 10 million results. So sponsored products will help your products get noticed and be on the first page of these 10 million search results. You can also combine it with clearance discount price to move your clearance items faster, increase hot selling items even more, or as part of seasonal promotion plans to drive holiday sales. Basically, there are many reasons for why you should use sponsored products, and it is up to you to determine the strategy that makes the most sense for your business, and sponsored products gives you the ability to easily create your own strategy. Setting up a sponsored product campaign is relatively easy. There are no ads to write. You probably want to start by thinking about it more generally. So think about your budget and how much you want to spend on advertising each month. Then divide that to get a daily budget. Then think about how long you want to run the campaign for. Do you want to run it indefinitely, or say just for the month of July when we are running Prime Day deals. Next, select the products that you want to advertise. You want to make sure the products are in categories that are actually open to sponsored products, like what we reviewed earlier, and that they are winning the buy box. You also want to select automatic targeting or manual targeting. We will cover that later on when we talk about optimization tips. And you will also want to set a bid, so how much the maximum amount you're willing to pay for each click, and also enter keywords if you're using manual targeting. So after you've run a sponsored product campaign for a while, you want to start making full use of advertising reports. There is transparency with sponsored products, and we want to make it easy for you to measure the impact of sponsored products on your advertising, so you can easily determine your advertising cost of spend, or ACoS, and your ROI. So in advertising reports, which is in Seller Central, there is a full list of reports that you can run, but there are two reports that I'll recommend the most. The first is the search term report. This report provides visibility into the actual search terms entered by customers searching on Amazon, and the related impressions, clicks, and conversion data for each of these ads. This report will only show search terms that have generated at least one click on the ad. So you will probably want to use the search term report to identify high-performing customer search terms that are generating a lot of clicks with sales. And on these high-performing terms, you can consider increasing your bids to increase impressions. So you want to increase the number of times the ad shows up to multiply the sales boost that you are getting. And all this information is extra valuable because it is actual customer data, and is exactly what your customers have been searching for to find your products. The other report is the campaign performance report. It shows you the clicks, the impressions, CTR, total spend, average cost per click. So all these metrics for each of the campaigns. So it helps you to understand the conversion and the attributed sales of each report. Our newest report is the performance by placement report. So it allows you to compare the performance of different campaigns using new features like Bid Plus, and you get to see the impressions, clicks, CPC, spend, and sales for each campaign when Bid Plus is on or off. So I would really recommend you to take full advantage of sponsored product features and download advertising reports after you have run the campaign for a while. We'll talk more later on about how you can include this in your optimization, in optimizing your campaign. In addition, you can also utilize Selling Coach for smart suggestions on how to improve your sponsored product campaigns. You'll get recommendations on campaign budget and products to advertise. And with that, we move on to the meat of today's section, basically. I really want to cover the strategies, tips, and tricks to optimize your campaigns if you're already running one. So our first tip is to run sponsored product for all of your products. The approach here is to really give each product a chance to succeed. You want to remove selection bias, and when you run sponsored products for all of your products, you can use the data and objective observations collected by Amazon on your old campaigns to tailor and refine your new campaigns. From a scalability perspective, a catch-all campaign, meaning you run it for all of your products, is also the easiest and fastest way to test sponsored products because it requires little to no analysis of your catalog. So I would recommend you start by bidding low across your catalog, which will offer you the highest returns relative to the time invested, and in time allow you to identify and capitalize on key advertising opportunities where there isn't much competition. The fewer products you advertise, the more you're limiting yourself from finding out these lucrative wins. So really, I think the best strategy here is to start off by running a campaign for all of your products. So even when you're running campaigns on all of your products, you may want to segment your campaigns and ad groups So you're able to bid and optimize accordingly on each campaign or ad group. Bids, negative keywords, and search term reporting all happen on the ad group level. So just a technical thing that you might want to keep in mind as you're setting up ad groups. So by segmenting, I mean that you can group like products together in the same ad group so that they're sharing the same keywords. It also makes it easier for you to review your search term reporting after the campaigns have run for a while. You can also group products with similar margins together, as it might determine how much ACoS you can afford. The next thing I want to talk about here is negative keywords. Negative keywords are a great addition to your campaigns. They prevent your ads from displaying when a shopper's search matches your negative keywords. They help you exclude poorly performing searches, reducing your advertising costs and increasing your return on investment. So I would recommend using them in two ways. The first is for you to refine your targeting to exclude less relevant terms or terms that you do not want associated with your products or your brands. So for example, if you are selling high-end running shoes, you may not want your ad shown when customers' search term includes cheap shoes. So you can use a phrase negative keyword of cheap shoes. The other use of negative keywords is to exclude low-performing customer search terms. So you probably want to combine that with reporting. So as I talked about earlier, it's important that you utilize your search term report for this. So pull the search term report from Seller Central and open in Excel. So the tip to find a good negative keyword is to look for keywords matching the following criteria. So these keywords should be giving you above average number of impressions and above average number of clicks, so or more than 5 clicks if you are running on a smaller scale, and above average in total spend, so approximately more than $1 in total spend. But despite all these good metrics, they are generating little to zero sales within 1 week of a click. So all these keywords are poor performing and you're spending money on it without generating good sales. This might mean the people using those search terms are not your target audience. So you probably want to refine your ads by adding these keywords in as a negative keyword in order to make your ads more targeted going forward. The next tip here is to run both manual and automatic campaigns. It can be beneficial to run both simultaneously as each have their own individual benefits and bidding strategies. Products advertised in both automatic and manual campaigns will not compete against each other as long as they are in the same Seller Central account. So the strategy here would be that you put all your products on an automatic campaign and bid with a lower cost per click, so you're able to focus on keyword volume. With this campaign model, you are able to start generating revenue and exposure with very little work. At the same time, it builds the groundwork for keyword harvesting. So this is where you identify high-performing and low-performing keywords and you adjust accordingly. So I think the main goal of running automatic campaigns, in my opinion, is to obtain customer search term data, data that you should apply to future campaign build-outs. But do note that automatic campaigns run off product information, so they will only run properly if your product information is good. So you need to really know that your product information is the foundation for automatic campaigns. Make sure you're optimizing the listings title, bullet points, product description, and keywords in Seller Central so that the campaign can leverage that good content. On the other hand, manual targeting campaigns are structured for constant keyword modification, and you can add new keywords that combine to add scale in a long tail fashion. So you definitely need to put in more effort and work for manual campaigns, but it works very well to refine your ad settings based on the data trends that you observe from automatic campaigns. When you observe that keywords start producing a higher sales per click, you can increase the bids on those keywords because you want your ads to always be linked to those keywords, allowing you to replicate and amplify the success you have had with those keywords. So although manual campaigns are costly to manage and maintain if you do not do it right, they are used to capture sales for very high converting keywords. When done correctly, these campaigns can be the most effective advertising tool on Amazon's platform. And when you utilize both manual and automatic campaigns, your opportunity for greater ad exposure is maximized. The fifth tip here is to leverage advanced match types. Keyword match types allow sellers to fine-tune which customer search term their ads may be eligible to show against. For every new keyword you enter, you can indicate if you want broad, phrase, or exact match type. Broad match keywords will give your ad the most or the broadest traffic exposure. Phrase and exact restrict the traffic to a more precise target audience. So when choosing a match type, it is recommended that you start with broad match to capture the most information on where your ads perform the best. Then review either your advertising reports to evaluate the performance of your keywords and match type. Once you have observed which keywords and shopper search terms are performing best, you can change your bids or create a more concise group of keywords to optimize your campaigns and reach your goals. Ultimately, you only want your ads to appear in front of buyers with the highest intention to buy your products. You can also have multiple match types for the same keywords, but note that you will not be able to change the match type of a keyword once it is added. Now the next tip is a relatively new feature. It is called Bid Plus. Bid Plus is a new feature that increases the opportunity for your ads to show on the top of search results. So as we look at the placement just now, you can put it at the bottom of the page on the right panel or in the middle carousel of a related product. But for the top of search results, it is currently reserved for Bid Plus users. So when Bid Plus is turned on for specific campaigns, Amazon will increase the default bids for your ads that are eligible to appear in this placement. At the moment, you can only turn on Bid Plus for manual targeted campaigns, so not for automatic targeted campaigns. If your ads is not eligible to show, we will not increase your bids. Your bids can increase by up to 50% more than your default bids for clicks at the top of the search results. And you can turn Bid Plus on and off in Campaign Manager. So some of you might be aware, we're going into the month of July, and which means that Prime Day is coming up. This is going to be one day in mid-July where there's going to be a lot of traffic on the site. So you should try to capture as much of this traffic as possible by bidding more aggressively for sponsored products, or even better, enabling Bid Plus for Prime Day. The last tip here is to really re-emphasize the importance of using reporting. Honestly, if you are running sponsored product campaigns and not reviewing your reports, you would really be crippling the success of your campaigns. The data that you have in Seller Central is very valuable, and the more data you collect, the more precise you can be in optimizing your campaign. So again, one of the most important reports will be the campaign performance report and search term reports that we covered earlier. So play around with this after this webinar and let us know if you have any questions on those reports. So in closing, I just want to emphasize that when sponsored product ads are optimized, it is a very powerful tool. Not only will it push your listings to the top of search results, but it can even improve the organic rankings over time. Although sponsored products may be simple to start with and easy to use, each individual seller should make the appropriate calculations to make sure it is right for their business. It is an investment and the cost can quickly outweigh the sales if not closely monitored. Remember that when you're first starting with sponsored products, it pays to have a higher budget as your campaign builds up steam, meaning you get more sales and more product reviews and your sales history becomes better. You can gradually decrease the bids. If you closely monitor and tweak your campaign, have some patience, and be a good seller, then eventually you'll notice that your products will start rising in the organic search results as well. And this is when you'll be able to reap the full benefits of sponsored products. So just to close off, here are some resources that you can use to learn more about sponsored products and find additional answers to your questions. You can use Seller Central, the search bar, to search for topics or answers to your sponsored product questions. You can watch videos, tutorials in Seller University for sponsored products, or review the channel on YouTube, which is a part of the Amazon Seller Education channel. Also, there are more information on our Seller Services site, and we'll also be happy to take questions following this webinar. And with that, I want to bring you to the next part of this webinar, which will be about lightning deals and best deals, and I'll pass you on to my colleague Parvez.
Thank you, Pui. Hello everyone, my name is Parvez and I'm part of the Amazon marketing team for Southeast Asia, Australia and New Zealand. In the next 5 to 6 minutes, I will be taking you through an overview of deals, why should you run deals, and how can you set up deals. I will also briefly discuss the criteria for running deals. So lightning deals are time-bound promotional offers in which items are featured for usually up to 4 to 6 hours with set amount of quantity for sale on the Amazon deals page. The deals page is the second most visited merchandising page on Amazon.com and also includes the most active customer community forum. According to a ComScore study in 2015, it was found that 25 million Amazon mobile shoppers accessed deal a day on their mobile devices monthly. Best deals are slightly different from lightning deals and they appear under the lightning deals on the Amazon deals page. They also have a longer running time of 2 weeks and more relaxed requirements as compared to lightning deals for most of the categories. Why should you run deals? Our customers love deals and they can provide great benefits for you as well. So what are the benefits? First, your products get more visibility as they may appear right on the deals page. Second, deals provide you with plenty of opportunities to attract new customers both during and after the period you run deals. Finally, you may also run deals to help sell overstock or seasonal products. To run lightning deals from your Seller Central account, log into your account and click on Lightning Deals under Advertising. If you see deal recommendations, you may edit the deal parameters and submit your deal for review to us. If your deal is approved, Amazon will select the specific date and time for your deal. If you are unsatisfied with the date and time selected for your deal, you may cancel the deal using Lightning Deals dashboard in your Seller Central account. If you do not see deal recommendations in your account and still want to create lightning deals or best deals, please reach out to your account manager or write to us at this email ID, globalselling-ca@amazon.com. To give customers the best possible shopping experience, only products that meet certain criteria will be eligible for lightning deals and best deals. Starting with the price, the deal price of your product should be about 15 to 20% at discount on the lowest price in 30 days, and that depends on the specific category and deal type. We factor in number of available reviews and a product's overall rating in the deal approval process. Usually products with low ratings do not qualify for lightning deals. Also, please note that products in certain categories and products that are offensive or otherwise inappropriate are not eligible for deals. Please refer to your Seller Central account for the detailed list of such products and restrictions. About the variations, in general, candidates for lightning deals should have more than 80% of product variations included to be eligible for Lightning deals. There's a fulfillment criteria as well. Products need to be on FBA to be eligible for deals. You should have sufficient inventory available in FBA to be able to fulfill not only the deal sales, but also the post-deal sales if the demand for the deal product continues after the deal is over. For best deals, at least 50 units of a product need to be in FBA inventory. There's a deal value applicable for Lightning deals. A category-wise minimum deal value is applicable. Deal value is the deal price of your products multiplied by the quantity committed for the deal. That's all we have for today. Thank you for taking the time to attend this webinar. We hope you found the information helpful and would try to promote your products using sponsored products and gold box deals. We will be emailing this presentation to you in PDF format shortly. In the meanwhile, if you have any feedback about the content or if you still need assistance with the questions, please email to us at this ID. Your email will be received by the Amazon Global Selling team and we can follow up with you promptly. We can take any questions you may have now. When you sign out of the webinar after the question and answer session, you will be prompted to fill a quick survey on your experience with this webinar. Please take a minute to respond to the survey. We've been getting your questions on sponsored products and deals, and we think we have answered a lot of the questions, and we'll be taking the other questions that come up our way now. We'll just pause for 2 minutes to review the questions that we have received from you, and then we'll answer them one by one. Thank you.
I think I'll start off with a few questions. So if you left us questions in the chat box, my colleague would have been replying to you, but I just want to cover some that I think could be relevant to all of our sellers. So the first is a question about the buy box, what the requirements are. That's a great question. The buy box is a very important concept for Amazon. This is because we want to consolidate all of the offers for one product into one product detail page. So, for example, I am selling a headset, and there are 5 different sellers selling the same headset. So there won't be 5 different product detail pages. Instead, it will all be consolidated into one product detail page, and one seller will be the buy box winner. The buy box is actually a panel, a little box on the right of the product detail page that says add to cart. I'll try to pull it up as we are talking. So the buy box winner is usually the seller that Amazon determines to be the seller with the best offer. So we don't exactly tell you what our algorithm for best offer is, but I can tell you that we look at things like FBA, fulfillment, and also the price, and also your seller review, and your performance in the past. So if we think that you have the best offer, we will feature you as the buy box winner, and very likely most of the sales will go to you because it is the most direct way to purchase a product from the product detail page. So I will pull it up just a minute. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. So I'm just going to click into any of the products. Oh, so one thing about buy box is that it only really matters to you if you are selling products that a lot of other sellers are selling. If your product is unique and you're the only one selling it, you will most probably win the buy box unless your performance has been very bad in the past couple of months. So this is the buy box, and this is the buy box winner. So currently it's Amazon.com that is winning the buy box. So if a customer come onto this page, very likely they'll add to cart here. So the sale will go to Amazon.com. Other sellers that do not win the buy box will be displayed here. So the sales for the sellers is less direct. So that's the concept of the buy box, and we only display your ad if you're winning the buy box. Otherwise, so imagine you bid for this product, customers come to this page, the sale will go to Amazon.com, not to you. So we won't charge you for that. Another question that we have received is about headline search ads and product display ads. So this is I'm surprised that you know about it. Excellent. This is actually services that are provided more by the Amazon Marketing Group or Amazon Marketing Services. If you're interested, you can find out more on our website, but currently they are only available to vendors, so not professional sellers, but vendors on Amazon.com, and will require invitations from buyers in order to subscribe to the Amazon Marketing Services. Please send through more questions, and if I find any that would benefit all of you, I will address it on air. Okay, when it comes to the amount that you should bid, of course we recommend that you bid more aggressively in order for your ads to have more impressions. But if you want to see what is the average bid, you will be able, when you're bidding for it, you'll be able to click into a help page that says average bids per category. Maybe I'll pull it up now, so just give me a minute. Sorry that took me a while, but if you go into the Seller Central help page, and if you were to search for cost per click bids, you will be able to see what is the winning cost per click bid for each category. There are some categories that tend to be a higher bid cost. So for health and personal care, it could be 60 cents. Usually we recommend bidding $1 at that for that category. So you can use this as a reference, and after you have run the campaigns for a while, you'll be able to see what are the estimated page one bids, and you can adjust your bids accordingly. So for lightning deals and best deals, you need to commit to the price that you applied with. So for some categories, we'll require 15% discount. For other categories, we'll require 20% discount, minimum discount. So you will need to tell us what is the sale price that you would like to run your campaigns, your deals at, and then that price will be locked in for the period that you're running the lightning deal or the best deal, and you will not be able to change it during the deal run period. There's no limit on placing sponsored ads at all. You can run as many ads as you would like or as many as your budget allows. For deals though, if you're talking about merchandising deals, you can only run one deal. So it can be a best deal or lightning deal in 30 days. So after you start running one, you need to wait 30 days to run the next one. Yes, there are some categories where the bids are much higher. So you're right, sports category is actually a very popular category. Another one would be if you're selling supplements in the drugstore, health and personal care areas. Those clicks, the winning bids are usually approximately $2 to $3, which is why you need to be very selective about the keywords that you're using and the keywords that you choose to replicate your impressions on. So back to the question about the vendor, I think we'll follow up with you separately after this webinar. So we have received questions on deals and deal criteria and eligibility. So I thought I'll show you the slide again on the criteria that we look for when it comes to deals. I think one other thing that's not covered here is product information quality. So we will also do manual reviews of your product listings to make sure that all the information is compliant before we run your deal. So we don't actually charge a fee to run your deals. So for now, we are pretty selective about the deals that we're running, but I think you should still give it a shot because there's a lot of traffic on these websites, and if you're running deals, I think it could be a huge boost to your sales and to your traffic. Yes, if you're a new seller and you do not have any product ratings, that is fine. So for most categories, your products need to have a rating of a minimum of 3 stars or 3.5 stars. But if you do not, so it's either that or you have no ratings at all. So either unrated or minimum 3 to 3.5 stars on your products. All right, we'll just take a few more questions, so please leave us more questions in the chat box in the next 2 minutes, and we'll try to address them before we close off this webinar. So I'm also getting a lot of questions about keywords for manual targeting. So to begin with, it's easier for you to get started with automatic campaigns. And after you've run automatic campaigns for a while, you'll be able to see the keywords that are performing well. So I just want to show you this screenshot that I took in case some of you asked this question. But this is a screenshot of a search term report. So you can see all the search terms on the left, and then you'll be able to see the clicks and the ACoS. So search terms that are generating a lot of impressions, a lot of clicks, but more importantly, a lot of sales are high-performing keywords that you want to use in your manual campaign. And you do not just want to include them, you also want to bid higher on them so that the keywords, whenever that keyword is used, your product ads show up linked to those search terms because it's generating good sales for you, right? So the search term report is definitely a good way for you to generate more keywords for your manual campaign. At the same time, you can also utilize different applications or softwares. If you Google Amazon Keyword Generator, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find at least 5 to 10 websites that generate a list of long-tail keywords for you. Those websites could be a great way for you to generate manual keywords as well. But remember, like, those are not based on actual customer data, unlike the search term report, so you need to be a little careful about how much you bid on them, and you need to monitor those closely. Otherwise, you can end up spending a lot of money on those long-tail search terms. So the best would still be for you to utilize the search term report to generate keywords for your manual campaigns. Right, I think we're out of time, so I'm going to end this webinar here. So once again, this is our mailing address. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. And I hope you enjoyed this webinar as much as we did. And thank you for your participation and for your time. You have a good day. Bye.